Welcome back, Cheeseheads, to another episode of BAM GPG. So, we're going to be talking some unfiltered Green Bay talk today in today's episode, Bryson. And we're going to also do something special. It's going to be kind of an early season, kind of quarter of the way through the season reality check for the Green Bay Packers. We're going to talk, what's real for the Packers, what's the more of the fool's gold, and what this team actually is about a quarter of the way through the season. So, Bryson, let's jump right into it here. So, I want to get this out of the way early here. Our record might not jump off the page to you. We are sitting at 2-1-1, but it is only one loss on the season. And I think any Packer fan would tell you, we feel it. And I know most Packer fans feel it. There's a different vibe to the team this year, and you can just feel it, right? It's completely different than years past. I think we go into every week expecting to win this year, and it's much different than years past, Bryson. Jordan Love, he's growing into this offense year after year with LaFleur. There are moments, where you see these long, sustained drives. He really has command over the field, much like a veteran quarterback would. So, is he perfect? No, he's not perfect yet, but he's maturing in real time for the Green Bay Packers.
And that's the thing. He's not loud. Even when the line breaks down, he's keeping his eyes downfield. You can't teach that, especially with his wide receivers.
Yeah, absolutely.
They also have good wide receivers too.
They do. The young wide receivers, they're developing right along with them. And that's the thing about Jordan Love. He's always cool, calm, and collected. He never does look rattled. You're 100% correct on that, Bryson. Nothing seems to affect him. If he does have a bad pass or has, kind of a non-timely interception, he's back out there in the next drive like nothing happened. And that's what you need out of the leader of your offense at the quarterback position. So, there are things, Bryson, that separate a young quarterback like a Caleb Williams, who may be good someday, right? That's what most Bears fans hope, from a guy who is truly your franchise quarterback and like a Jordan Love. So, Bryson, I want to switch gears here a little bit. So let's talk Jeff Hafley's defense. It's, wasn't much talk of it in the offseason. It's quietly one of the biggest upgrades of the Green Bay Packers this season. We're seeing guys, they're just flying around the field this year. The tackling's a lot cleaner. He's got that secondary. We thought that may be a weakness with Nate Hobbs and Keyshawn Nixon. He's got them playing with some swagger this year. They've, at times looked pretty darn good. And it's something, we haven't seen consistently from that Packers defense in several years, right? We certainly didn't see it under Joe Barry's defensive schemes. So it's refreshing to see this year.
Yeah, and Rashawn Gary's starting to look like his old self again. The boost is back.
He absolutely is, Bryson. He's having back on track to have a career season. It's kind of the Rashawn Gary, a pre-injury, that knee injury he had there in Detroit a few years back. And you got to think, you combine Rashawn Gary with a Lucas Van Ness, a Micah Parsons, and you've got 2 or 3 dudes on that defensive front coming off the edge who really want to hit somebody every single play. And now, Bryson, this is going to be a little bit different here. So, it's time for that new session here. So, it's going to be buy or sell, kind of the early season for the Green Bay Packers reality check edition here. So, I'm going to throw out some takes to you, Bryson, and you tell me if you're buying or selling that take, and I'll give you my thoughts on it too, okay? So, let's get into it here. So, Jordan Love will finish the season as a top 10 quarterback in this league.
I'm buying it.
Yeah, I absolutely am. I think he's there now. He's really starting to see the field a lot better. The red zone calls, they're improving this year. And he's got chemistry building with those young receivers, like you had mentioned too earlier. You saw it with Reed prior to his injury earlier this season, and certainly with Romeo Doubs, right? Mr. Consistent Romeo Doubs. So I expect that number, for touchdowns, red zone efficiency, I expect his numbers to be on the rise all the way through the remainder of the season. Now, here's an interesting one, Bryson. Josh Jacobs, will he finish with 1,200 total rushing yards this season?
I think I'm just gonna barely buy, but I'm gonna buy it.
I am too. I think once that offensive line starts getting a little bit healthier, once winter hits Lambeau Field, it's going to become a pretty run heavy football weather offense. Jacobs is going to feast in those conditions. So
Yeah.
I am going to buy in hopes that the offensive line does start getting healthier. We see improvement on that run blocking for the offensive linemen.
Yeah, and he's running angry again. That's what Jacobs we wanted.
He is. You saw it in that Dallas game before the bye. Josh Jacobs looks like he's back. Here's an interesting one, Bryson. So Christian Watson, we know he returned to practice. Will he break out in the second half of this season for the Green Bay Packers?
I'm buying.
You're buying it. Yeah, so this one I'm going to cautiously buy. You can tell he's close to getting back out on the field. He's going to see the targets once he does. The separation, I think it'll be there. From what I see, he looked quick, looked sharp on the practice field. So I think that deep threat separation is still going to be there. He's just going to need to show me consistency out on the field, right? Can he stay out on the field healthy? If he can, absolutely. I think he'll have a breakout second half of the season. Now, Bryson, this is an interesting one. We talked about him quite a bit in the offseason about how he's really grown. And he was starting to kind of solidify himself in that rotation on the Green Bay's defensive front. Lucas Van Ness, will he be more of a household name by the season end?
Like, I guess, is this from like the Packers or the NFL?
Just kind of a common known name across the league. Will Lucas Van Ness be that guy?
I'm actually gonna sell because I feel like nobody really mentions the Packers in the NFL. That's the thing.
Yeah, people like to hate on Green Bay, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This is a tough one for me too. I am gonna cautiously sell. I think there is probably some upside. Van Ness is playing fantastic. The more Green Bay continues to win this season, the more eyes we're gonna get, and possibly he might get talked about a little bit more. But what he's doing out on the field for the Packers this season,
I feel like as soon as we get a loss, everybody calls Green Bay overrated.
They do. Everyone, they jump at the bit to anytime Green Bay loses to kind of get it. And a lot of that's just because we've had so much success in the past, right? And people get envious of it. Fan bases get envious of it, especially if you're a Detroit, Minnesota, or Chicago fan, right? They haven't won anything in forever. And the Bears have won one back in '85. That's, 40 years ago. So they are the poverty franchises. They are in the NFC North, unfortunately, and they do like to hate on the Green Bay Packers. So, Bryson, the Packers defense will finish in the top 5 defenses this season.
I'm buying.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm buying it too. We mentioned it. Hafley's defense, the communication looks sharper, the tackling looks improved, and there's actual accountability across that defense now. This is a young unit. Don't get me wrong, we're still the youngest team in the league, but they're physical, and that travels well into December and January and February football. So, last one here, Bryson. Okay. The Packers will have a winning record in the NFC North this year.
That's an easy buy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm buying it too. Again, there's going to be a lot of people calling us crazy on this one, but I think the Packers sweep the NFC North this year. I don't see a game that we do lose in the NFC North. I think we're sweeping the Lions, Vikings, and Bears this year. I know it was a struggle last year against these teams, but much different feel to this unit, much more solidified defense than what we've had in the past. The offense is only going to continue to come along once we get some of these receivers and offensive linemen back out on the field. I don't think we're going to lose to an NFC North team this year. I think we're going to go in Detroit. I think that's close to around Thanksgiving. Going to win that game.
Yeah, that is. We do play them on Thanksgiving, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I have one more here for you, or a couple more, Bryson. So Romeo Doubs, will he lead the Green Bay Packers in touchdowns this year?
This is a tough one because Christian Watson is back now too.
He is back, but Doubs has got a jump start on him.
Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm buying this one. As we mentioned, he's Mr. Consistent. He's Jordan Love's security blanket, especially when they get down to the red zone. He might not get all the flashy deep down the field plays, but he's absolute money when we're inside the 20, right? And Bryson, Jeff Hafley, at season end, will he be a head coaching candidate in the 2020 for the 2026 season?
I'm gonna buy it. I hope he doesn't go to another team though.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to buy this one too. I want to keep him around. You love to have when you see things trending up, you want to keep those guys around you. But also, when things start trending up, those guys do start getting more eyes on them. So I am buying this one, especially if the defense keeps trending like it is. His name's, it's only going to be on the rise. He's got the attitude. He's got the early results there with that Green Bay's defense, and he's got the buy-in from the team as well, right? So there you have it, Bryson. That is kind of our buy or sell for this week for the Green Bay Packers. Let us know what you think in the comments, whether you disagree or agree with any of those. And Bryson, we will be back with some more kind of maybe a little bit later in the week as we inch closer to game time against the Cincinnati Bengals. And as always, Bryson,
It's go Pack Go!